unfortunate incident this weekend. It's hard for me to talk about it, but
This is what happened, Chad. He went to a pro wrestling event with his coach, and what started as a night out turned into a major controversy that has everyone talking. The opening moment is simple to describe. Raja attended a show, the performers were in their element, and an unexpected incident occurred that changed everything in an instant. From the first clip to the reaction that followed, people have tried to make sense of what they saw and why it escalated the way it did.
Hey, you gotta stop this shit, man.
Rampage Jackson broke his silence with the blunt style fans expect, and he began by confirming the basic facts of the evening. He explained that Raja went to the wrestling event accompanied by his coach and that the atmosphere was charged and rowdy in typical pro wrestling fashion. According to Rampage, a performer who did not know Raja personally struck him over the head with what appeared to be a can or bottle. Rampage emphasized that Raja had been advised not to respond physically and that he followed that guidance during the incident. The father's anger was clear, not because he wanted retaliation, but because his son was put into a situation where he was hurt and unprepared. Rampage described his feelings in a mixture of frustration and concern, acknowledging both his protective instincts and the legal risks involved. He explained that he had to step in and speak with Raja's coach to prevent the situation from getting worse and to keep his son out of trouble. That straightforward account frames the rest of the conversation.
No way.
But you're not getting snipped.
This little motherfucker, I got ruined everything for me. For me ever having kids, I wanted kids all over the world. Fucked up. No more kids for me.
Why don't you get your ass snipped?
I'm getting snipped.
Yeah, you cut that shit, dude.
Yeah, fuck
You
that.
blast the shit everywhere you want to go.
I ain't reversing shit.
I'll reverse it.
No way. No more kids for me.
When Rampage described the moment himself, he used language that reflected shock and disappointment rather than calculated outrage. He said he wanted to defend his son, but also recognized that a measured response was necessary to avoid legal consequences. Rampage's voice in public remarks showed the tension between paternal instinct and a desire for restraint, and he repeatedly stressed the need to handle the aftermath carefully. He wondered aloud whether the performer thought the action was part of the show, whether it had been staged or improvised, and why someone would carry out such an act without warning. Rampage also mentioned that Raja had been rehearsed to stay calm and not retaliate, and that his son did exactly what he had been told in that moment. That obedience helped prevent immediate escalation, but it did not diminish parental upset. The mix of protective concern and practical problem solving is central to Rampage's public response.
I'm just keeping 100. I feel bad about what happened to Psycho Stu. I don't condone what my son did at all. Very.
Other fighters and commentators weighed in quickly, each bringing their own perspective and experience to the table. Derek Brunson said his initial impression was that the incident might be a wrestling bit, and he only realized after reviewing footage and context that it was a real unscripted event. Brunson condemned the action as irresponsible and unnecessary, and he urged that it should never have happened. He wished the injured performer a full recovery and warned that Raja's behavior could have heavy consequences. Brunson highlighted how quickly a small conflict can shift into something far more serious when people act without restraint. His comments reflect concern for safety, for the injured performer, and for the long-term implications for everyone involved. This was the first wave of voices asking for accountability rather than excuses.
Ignorant people on the internet, I understand that. It is what it is. Shit don't affect me, don't bother me, but people like MMA Guru, that guy is supposed to be some kind of journalist, and his racism came out.
Several voices focused on the severity of the physical outcome and the potential legal ramifications. Some commentators described footage in which the injured wrestler appeared unresponsive for a period, and they raised alarms about the medical seriousness of that state. Those speakers cautioned that if a person is unconscious or otherwise incapacitated, further strikes or continued aggression can produce irreversible harm. The legal community and broadcasters pointed out that there was clear video evidence circulating, which typically makes investigation and prosecution more straightforward. Observers noted that authorities often need an official complaint from the injured party before proceeding, and that delay can create complications. The possibility of criminal charges, civil suits, or both was discussed repeatedly, underlining how a single moment of poor judgment can lead to long-lasting consequences. Those warnings shifted the conversation from fandom to accountability.
Now y'all can talk shit about Roger vegan ass. And y'all can talk shit about me. Don't fucking talk shit about my dog. That nigga innocent in this shit. My dog ain't dead.
Public reaction split along predictable lines. Some viewers defended Raja reflexively because of who his father is, while others insisted that the footage stood on its own and required condemnation. A number of commentators admitted they initially wanted to excuse Raja because of family ties or loyalty, but then found they could not after watching the full live stream. That honesty resonated as people grappled with the uncomfortable truth that celebrity connections should not exempt anyone from consequences. Others urged that the injured performer's own actions, if any, should be examined to establish context, but that scrutiny did not erase responsibility for delivering an unanticipated physical blow. Many in the community urged fair treatment for the injured party and fair due process for Raja, but stressed that moral clarity about unprovoked and excessive behavior was necessary. The debate thus became a test of principles for fans and peers alike.
You know what I'm saying? It's 2025, like, you know what I'm saying? People do shit. People do shit in this world. Some people fuck up. Some people do shit.
Some prominent names made very personal appeals for responsibility and accountability, and their comments reflected both care and disappointment. Kevin Lee, for example, said he respected Rampage but believed the son needed to face the consequences of his actions, and that surrendering to the legal process would be the right thing. Lee emphasized that the injured wrestler was on duty and in character, and therefore not in a position to foresee or respond to a real attack without being out of role. He suggested that accountability, even if it meant legal consequences, would teach a lesson and could lead to rehabilitation. Others echoed the need for Raja to accept responsibility if wrongdoing was established, and many noted that hero worship should not shield anyone from the law. That line of thinking focused on principles more than personal relationships.
Things went down, but you know what I'm saying, I wasn't there. But you know what I'm saying, I'm a father, so you know, I gotta have my son's back, but I'm gonna let justice, you know, play out, take its course.
Commentators also discussed the culture of live streaming and how it influences behavior, especially among people who perform for audience attention. Ryan Garcia and others pointed to incentives created by streaming platforms where extreme or risky behavior can generate views and monetary rewards. They warned that the pursuit of sensational content can erode judgment and encourage stunts that put people at risk. The conversation broadened beyond this single incident to consider how online culture amplifies dangerous choices and why creators must set clearer boundaries.
The race. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of racist shit about their son, no matter what race they are. He must don't have kids himself.
What did he say?
I don't want to repeat what he said, but he said a whole bunch.
Several commentators described their own emotional reaction to viewing the footage, and those reactions underscored how disturbing the event appeared to many viewers. A few admitted that they could hardly watch the clip because the injured performer looked entirely unresponsive and vulnerable in the footage. That visceral response framed a plea for compassion and immediate medical attention for the injured party, while also emphasizing the need for concrete consequences if wrongdoing was confirmed. Others focused on how the footage could be used in court or in public discussion to hold people accountable, noting that video evidence changes the dynamics of investigations. Those observations circled back to the point that actions in public spaces with cameras are subject to public review and potential legal scrutiny.
He's a good fucking dog. He just piss all over the place, but don't call that nigga Gizmo. His name is fucking Gizmo. Get it right. Talk shit about my motherfucking dog. These niggas double down. Okay, double down.
Several voices argued for a proportional and lawful response, stressing that public pressure should not replace due process. People urged that if the injured performer decided not to press charges, the legal system might still act, but that any response should be based on facts, not mob sentiment. The commentators urged that private mediation, restitution, or community service could be appropriate outcomes in some cases, while criminal charges would apply if medical evidence and intent supported them. That balanced approach recognized both the injured person's autonomy and the public interest. It also respected the need for a transparent investigation and careful legal handling of the matter.
He said, like, he showed his racism, basically, what he did. Like, I'm from the South. The stuff he said, only racist people say. A lot of racist people came forward and said stuff and DM me racist shit. It don't bother me.
As the discussion continued, many highlighted the responsibility of event organizers and security personnel to maintain safety at live shows. Observers asked why a performer felt empowered to strike an audience member and whether proper protocols and supervision were in place. Questions about event training, performer conduct agreements, and response plans for incidents were raised as urgent topics for promoters. If an event lacks clear boundaries and safeguards, the potential for harm increases and liability may follow. Several commentators therefore urged promoters to adopt clearer rules and stronger enforcement mechanisms to prevent similar incidents. That line of inquiry shifted some of the focus away from individual blame to institutional responsibility.
Shit, after all this bullshit I'm going through, I'm finna get snipped. No more kids for me. Fuck that. Kids are trouble. No more. No, fuck that. No more kids for me. Them motherfuckers don't listen. As soon as they get grown, they won't listen to you. Fuck that. No more kids for me.
Personal accounts from people who were near the scene added texture and human detail to the reporting. Some witnesses described the crowd's confusion and the immediate scramble for medical help once it became clear someone was seriously unwell. Others noted attempts by bystanders to intervene and calm the situation, while a few described the disorienting nature of live streaming when everything unfolds on camera. Those first-hand reports helped establish a timeline that matched the later statements by Rampage and others. They also revealed how quickly a public event can become chaotic and how important trained staff are for handling unexpected emergencies. Such witness testimony often complements video evidence in inquiries.
Yeah, and he should say neutral because he's giving his opinions on fights and stuff like that. So now people gonna be watching him when black fighters fight and the shit he say.
Yikes.
You know what I'm saying?
Friends of the family and close associates gave a window into Rampage's emotional state in the aftermath. People who were near him reported that he was visibly upset and worried as a father, and that he expressed both love for his son and concern about the legal and moral dimensions of the event. Those close to Rampage insisted he wanted a constructive resolution rather than a prolonged public feud, and they said he was trying to manage the situation carefully. That portrayal adds nuance to the public perception, showing a parent who is both protective and pragmatic. It also helps explain why Rampage took a measured tone in parts of his public remarks. The incident sparked a broader ethical conversation about how fame and family intersect in moments of crisis. Observers questioned whether public admiration for a figure like Rampage can unintentionally create a shelter for misbehavior by relatives or associates. Many argued that celebrity status should not protect anyone from accountability, and that moral consistency requires the community to demand the same standards for everyone. Others cautioned against swift condemnation without full facts, but still advocated for clear consequences if evidence supported them. This part of the discussion probed deeper questions about privilege, responsibility, and public leadership.
Ain't much I can do on that side, but be a father. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I can't talk about that shit. I can't talk about any details and stuff like that. I can't really go into nothing. I hope y'all can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say much about that shit. You know, it's
Legal experts who commented on the case emphasized the importance of medical documentation and timing in any potential charges. Accurate hospital records, witness statements, and the recorded live stream itself are likely to play a major role in any investigation. Lawyers noted that intent and the sequence of events would be central to prosecutorial decisions, and that outcomes would vary based on state law and the specifics of injuries. They advised caution in predicting legal outcomes publicly, but agreed that the presence of clear clear video evidence typically strengthens a prosecutor's ability to bring charges. That legal perspective reminded the public that serious legal processes require careful evidentiary work. In the immediate days after the incident, attention turned to whether the injured wrestler would press charges or accept some other form of resolution. Many commentators stressed that the injured party's wishes would be pivotal in how the case moved forward, and that public pressure should not override personal choice. At the same time, some argued that if the injured person decided not to pursue formal charges, civil remedies might still be available to address harm and restitution. The variety of possible paths underscored that there is no single automatic outcome, and that negotiation and legal counsel will likely shape the next steps. That ambiguity has kept the public conversation active. Several people pointed out that the incident could have long-term effects on Raja's reputation and career prospects regardless of legal outcomes. Even if criminal charges were not filed, the social and professional fallout of such footage can be substantial. Sponsors, promoters, and other partners often respond to public controversies by distancing themselves, and social media can make reputational damage long-lasting. Commentators urged Raja and his family to consider restorative actions that could help repair harm, such as public apologies, community service, or support for the injured party's recovery. Those constructive suggestions aim to move the conversation from punishment to repair where possible.
Not my place to say anything, and we gotta let this shit play its course. This shit put me in like a bad mood, you know.
The matter also prompted questions about education and training for young fighters and performers who may be tempted to act impulsively in heated moments. Coaches and mentors were urged to emphasize de-escalation, legal awareness, and the long-term consequences of a single mistake. Many noted that learning impulse control and conflict resolution is part of professional development in combat sports and performance fields alike. Rampage's remark that he had advised Raja not to respond reinforced the notion that mentorship matters and that clear guidance can prevent dangerous outcomes. That educational focus points toward prevention rather than just punishment.
Psycho Stu and his family had to see that shit, you know what I'm saying, and you know all this stuff that went on. I just wish it was. I just wish I could have been there, but I couldn't. I had to stay dropping my other kid off at college. You know, helping her move into the dorm and stuff like that. But
others recommended institutional reforms for wrestling promotions and live event hosts, including clearer performer training, better security protocols, and stronger policies about interactions with audience members and visiting athletes.
Hell no, I don't got no bread, bro. I don't got no bread. That's what I'm saying. That's why I be talking to y'all and shit. I'm just like y'all, nigga. Like, my dad got bread. That's his bread. That's not mine. It's not my bread. He's rich. I'm not rich. He's rich.
As the story unfolded, social media played its expected role by amplifying the footage, reactions, and commentary, which accelerated both public scrutiny and the spread of misinformation. Observers cautioned that while video evidence is powerful, snippets taken out of context can mislead, and careful review of full streams and statements is necessary to form a fair view. Responsible reporting and thoughtful commentary were urged as antidotes to sensationalism. That media literacy angle is important for sensible public discourse.
That's why I want to get on Brand Rich, bro. I've been waiting, bro. It's just been rough. It's been hard on me, bro.
Some commentators called for a cooling off period and private dialogue before harsh public judgments were finalized. They argued that an initial pause could allow medical updates, legal processes, and private reconciliation to take place without inflaming public sentiment.
It's really been hard on me, bro. I've been low-key, I've been stressed about it. I've been stressed about a lot of shit, you feel me? You know, but I'm showing y'all like the real.
Rampage Jackson's response to his son's actions combined personal concern with recognition of legal realities, and he emphasized both protection for his child and the need for a measured resolution. The incident exposed fault lines in live entertainment, streaming incentives, and community expectations about conduct. Many voices called for accountability balanced with compassion, and for practical steps to prevent similar incidents in the future. Whether through legal channels, restorative actions, or institutional reforms, the path forward forward will require honesty and responsibility from everyone involved. This episode serves as a reminder that public figures and their families are not above the rules, and that a single moment of poor judgment can cascade into serious consequences. As the situation develops, the community will watch closely for how justice, healing, and accountability are pursued.